Hi, thank you for tuning into my channel. In this playlist, I will be sharing podcasts on a regular basis that will let you experience the Feldenkrais Method via awareness through movement lessons. In the lessons, I will talk you through all the steps. You listen and do at the same time. The lessons are designed to improve ability and reduce effort in movement. The speed of an exercise should always be adjusted to your breathing rhythm. For the lesson, find a place where you can lie down comfortably and wear clothing that doesn't interfere with your movements and breathing. Also, take a rest whenever you want to. There will be plenty of rests in the lesson, but if you need more, please do. The lessons have been recorded live while teaching a class. Today, the lesson is called Walking with Your Back. I'm so sorry that you're already all lying, but could you please come back up to standing for a little bit? And just walk around. And what is walking to you? And if you're not alone in the room, you can share thoughts of walking. And if you're alone in the room, you can just tell yourself what you think walking is. What is walking for you? And maybe in the end of the lesson, if we have time, I will ask, but if not, you can always write it to me. And well, that's that for the walking part, walking vertically. And now we're going to walk on our back or with our back. So please come to lie on your back. And for now, have your legs long. And this is kind of a little bit funny, but I hope we all get it. So you have your legs long, and now you place your left Achilles tendon, so the back of your, just above your heel, in between the right big toe and the one next to it. So they're both long. So you basically rest one, like the left Achilles tendon, in between the right big toe and the one next to it. And now gently increase the pressure of the left foot into the right, and then release it again. And repeat this various times, softly and gently. And notice how you do it. Where do you work? And what gets engaged? Like maybe your upper leg, or your lower leg, or your knee. Just feel what kind of like starts to be active once you press your left left heel into your right foot, and then release it. And maybe if you don't feel what gets engaged, feel what releases when you release the tension. And now pause. Change over your feet. So place the Achilles tendon of the right foot in between the first and the second toe of the left foot. And slowly increase the pressure of the rest of the right foot into the left and release it. And feel what it is like on this side. Is it similar or very different? Where do you work? Your legs are long. And are there particular places that stand out as they get activated or as they get not activated, really? And let go of this movement and just rest with your legs long next to each other. And now place your left Achilles tendon in between the first two toes of the right foot. So the left Achilles tendon in between the first and the second toe of the right foot again. And gently press the left foot into the right. And then release it and then repeat. And notice, do you do anything in your left thigh? In the front or in the back of the thigh? And what's happening in your knee? Does it push backward into the floor a little bit? And are you doing anything in your belly? Pause. Change your legs over. So now have your right Achilles tendon in between the first two toes of your left foot. And now press your right foot into the left foot and release it. And repeat this various times. And again, notice, where do you work? Is there any activity around the right thigh? And what happens in the back of your right knee? And do you do anything in your belly? And don't change it. Stay with what you do. And maybe you're working somewhere else as well. And pause and rest. With your legs long. And again, put your left heel in between the first two toes of your right foot again. Press your left foot into the right foot and release it. And the next time when you press your left foot into the right foot, gently tighten your belly. And then as you release the pressing of the left foot into the right, also release the belly. And repeat this a few times. So as you press your left foot into the right, gently tighten your belly a little bit as you do it. And then release again. And see if this feels very familiar or very strange. And now change over your legs. So have your right foot pressing in between the first two toes of your left foot. And do the same thing. So as you push your right foot a little bit into the left, tighten your belly a small amount. And then as you release the pressing of the foot, also release the tightening of the belly. And as you do this, feel where the force goes through you. Does it go through you somewhere? Or is it leaving your body somewhere, going into the floor? Just notice. And now switch over your legs again. So put your left heel in between the two first toes of your right foot. And this time when you push the left foot into the right, gently, arch your back and push your belly forward as you do. And then when you release this pressure of the pressing of the foot, also release the arch of the back. And repeat this a few times. And maybe this is very unusual, so go very slowly. And feel how you can bow yourself forward as you push one foot into the other. So you lengthen in the front. So as you push your left foot into your right gently, you arch your back and you push your belly forward. Gently. And change your feet around. So put your right heel in between the two first toes of your left foot. And do the same thing. So as you press the right heel into the left foot, at the same time, poof your belly out a little bit so you arch your back, and then you release. You release both the pressing and the arching of the back, and repeat this a few times. And notice what it's like on this side. And pause and rest with your legs long. And notice how you're resting. Now slowly roll onto your right side. And have your head resting on your arm or somewhere comfortable. Or maybe you want to put a little cushion, that's also possible. And have the top arm resting on the floor in front of you. So you're not rolling forward. And have your legs long also, as if you're walking. So see how you can make yourself comfortable with your hands so you're not kind of rolling too much. And your legs are like as if for walking, so they're really long, straight in a way. Straight down. It's a bit, maybe a bit wobbly, but see if you can find a comfortable way like this. And lying like this, put your left heel in between the first two toes of your right foot. And then slowly push the left foot into the right foot again. And then release. And notice what happens. And repeat this a few times. So gently start to push your left foot into the right. And as there's no floor now, so there's also no constraint. So the legs might slide backwards more than when they were on the floor, because then there was the floor, of course. And let go and rest on your side for a bit. Same side. Put the left heel in between the first two toes of the right foot again. And again, slowly and gently start to push the left heel into the right foot, and the knees stay kind of in the same angle. So they're kind of straight. So you still push the left foot into the right, in the right foot, but you cannot change the angle of your knees. So the legs stay long. And where else can you move? And how can the movement go through you? So you press and then you release. And let both legs slide back as you do it. Let your thighs slide backwards and see what can happen. Feel that you start to get longer in the front. Roll back to your side and stay on your side. So as you stay on your side and you press the front foot into the back foot, let's say, it's basically you bring your whole legs into kind of a long bow almost. And your pelvis might come forward also. And how far can your legs go back? But you're not rolling onto your back. It's kind of fun. And come back with your legs under you, undo your toes and your heel in the toes, and stay on your side and pause. Now one more time. Put your left heel in between the first two toes of your right foot. And this time, as you push the left foot into the right, let yourself roll a little bit to your belly as you do it. And then come back again. So as you push your left foot into your right, you roll yourself a little bit towards your belly. And then you come back to just lying on your side a few times. And is this familiar or is this really weird? And let go of this and roll onto your back. And just notice how you're resting on your back. And then we roll onto the left side. So we roll onto the left side with your legs long. And you kind of use your top arm maybe to rest on the floor in front of you. Lie on a cushion or on your arm, whatever's comfortable. And have your right heel in between the first two toes of your left foot now. And now push the right foot into the left and feel what happens. And don't let your knees bend. And then come back and repeat this a few times. So you push your right foot into your left and then you come back again. You now have to move in your hips, right? When you cannot move your knees, something needs to happen in your hip joints. And feel your thighs sliding on the mat. And this is a crazy thought. Think that your feet might touch the back of your head. It's a weird image, but sometimes it clarifies the direction that the legs can go in. And of course, they will never. Well, maybe for some people they will get there, but you don't have to really do it. But it's a direction. And next time you push your right foot into the left, let yourself roll a little bit toward the front, toward your belly, as you get longer. And then you come back again. So you press the right foot into the left, the legs move back, you get longer in the front and you roll a little bit towards your belly. And then you come back again to the side. And now next time when you press your right foot into your left, don't roll to the front anymore. And also not to the back. So just push the one foot into the other and feel that you can go straight forward, that you just get long in your front. You open up from the front. And leave it, roll to your back and rest. We have a cat Feldenkrais with us. It's amazing. He's taking the floor from one person. And as you're on your back, place your left heel in between the toes, the first two toes of your right foot again, being on the back. And now press your left foot into your right foot. Move your belly forward and arch your back at the same time. And then release it again. And notice if this got easier, or if it makes more sense. So as you press your left heel into your right foot, you arch your lower back and you push your belly forward a little bit. Notice if it changed. If the floor is doing something different to our organization than being on the side. Can you feel the back of your neck also getting longer as you do this? Maybe a little bit. And stay like this. And the next time you press the left foot into the right, you'll press the belly forward and arch the back. And you will rotate your pelvis a little bit to the right as you do this. This is very different movement, but as you press the left foot into the right and you push your belly forward and arch your back a little bit, you'll rotate your pelvis a little bit to the right and then you come back again. Try it. Maybe some of you were doing this already, I can't see very well. But this is slightly different, right? You know, you don't go only forward, but you're also rotating. And maybe even the left side of your pelvis comes all the way off the floor. Try this. How does it feel? Does it make sense? Is it strange? So you press your left foot into the right, your belly comes forward, you arch your back a little bit, and then you kind of rotate to the right, and maybe even the left side of your pelvis comes off the floor. And now next time, don't rotate the pelvis to the right. So just press the left foot into the right and let your belly come forward and arch your back, but stay kind of like with the pelvis toward the ceiling. This is just the legs lengthening and the front. And let go and pause. Change over your legs so the right heel comes in between the first two toes of the left foot. And now press the right foot into the left foot and let your belly kind of roll forward, and your pelvis is also somehow rolling, right? So you arch your back. And does this connect more through your skeleton now? Like, is it maybe going into your spine longer? Maybe you feel something in your ribs, your chest, your neck. So you press the right foot into the left foot and let the pelvis roll, your belly kind of come forward, and then you release. So you press and release. And next time, as you're pressing your right foot into your left, and you let your back arch and your belly just come forward by itself, also rotate yourself, like rotate your pelvis. Let's see which direction, to the left, I think this time. Yes, so as you press the right foot into the left and your belly comes forward and your back arches, you let your pelvis rotate to the left. And maybe even the right side of the pelvis comes off the floor as you do this, and then you come back again. And repeat this a few times. how does it feel? Is this something you're very familiar with, or is this weird? And now next time, just press your right foot into your left, and don't rotate. And notice if this is more clear now. Now we've also played with this rotating of the pelvis. Do you feel that the area between your pubic bone and your kind of clavicles, the front of your shoulders, is getting longer? And let go of the movement. And rest with your knees bent and your feet standing. And now with your feet standing like this, start to lift your pelvis a tiny bit off the floor and then bring it back to the floor again. And repeat this a few times. So lift the pelvis a little bit off the floor and then bring it back again. And just feel the angle of the pelvis and the shape of the lower back. And then slowly, next time, lift it a little bit higher. And keep observing the angle of the pelvis and the shape of your lower back. And each time as the pelvis gets a little bit higher, the shape of the lower back also starts to change, right? It goes from being a little bit round to a little bit more straight, and then maybe even a little bit more arched as you get higher and higher. And maybe you don't get there, but you feel there's a slight change the higher you get, right? Like it starts out a little, yeah. And now pause doing this and rest with your feet standing. And now this time bring your feet very close to your bum. So they don't have to be close together, but close to your bum. See if you can get them very close. And again, lift your pelvis, but this time do it by bringing the knees away from you, like to the, let's see, how do I say this? So you kind of push the knees away from your head in a way. And that kind of like brings up the pelvis. So you kind of initiate it from pressing the knees away from your torso. And then you come back to the floor again. And the whole foot stays on the floor also, both the feet. And notice that doing it this way, the shape of the pelvis and the back immediately are different. Somehow the back is more arched from the beginning now. Do you notice this difference? Can be very small movement just to feel it. And do you feel that you get longer from the knee up to the sternum? Like that the hip joint really comes forward if you do it this way on both sides. And pause, lengthen your legs and rest. Now with legs long again, put the left heel in between the right two first toes, as we've been doing so far. And lightly press the left foot into the right. Let the belly come forward and arch the back and release and feel. Can you have a sense of the left leg lengthening as you do this? Think of opening space in the left hip joint as you press the left heel into the right. And the next time you press the left foot into the right, tighten the belly again and feel what this is like now, and then release that. Where does the force go now? If you press the left foot into the right, and instead of bringing the belly forward and arching the back, you kind of tighten the belly again. So basically you're kind of rounding the back a bit. And notice where the force goes when you do it like that. And then let the belly go forward again and arch the back and let the hip open. And feel that the trajectory of the force is very different. And pause and flip the legs. So have the right heel in between the two first toes of the left foot. And now play with it on this side. So you press the right heel into the left, and then you arch your back, and you let the belly come forward at the same time. And you do this a few times. And the right hip can be getting longer in the front. And then a few times think of tightening the belly as you press the right foot into the left. So you tighten the belly and then somehow you pull the belly in, and then feel the difference and feel how this moves through you differently. And let go of it and just notice how you're resting on the floor. And slowly roll to one side. And slowly come to sitting. And then to standing. And as you stand, so you stand on both feet, and now you have one foot a little bit in the front, but there's no weight on it. So all the weight is in the back foot, and no weight in the front foot, but the whole sole of the foot's on the floor. And the knee of the front leg is straight. And now push with your back leg onto your front leg as you keep the knee of the front leg straight. So then the weight's on the front leg. And then you swing the back leg forward, and then there's no weight on it. So you kind of like stand on, so you went from the back leg to the front leg, and then you bring the back leg a little bit in front of the front leg somehow. There's no weight on it again, and the knee is straight. And again, push yourself from the back leg onto the front leg, and the front leg has a straight knee. And then you swing the back leg, the back leg a little bit to the front, so it's in front of the leg that the weight is on. And then there's no weight on the front leg. And again, with a straight knee of the front leg, push with the back leg onto the front leg. And do this a few times. And think, and feel a sense that you get longer in the front of yourself as you do this, and that the hip can open. And it's important that there's no weight on the front leg, but that the knee is straight when you press yourself on top of it with the back foot. And that you open from the front. That you're long in the front. And I'll let go of this and just walk and notice what your sense of walking is. And does forward have a clear sense now? As if the force of walking goes forward more clearly, or is something else standing out? And now, as you walk, as just for fun, tighten your belly a little bit and notice if this is familiar. And then become long in the front again as you walk. And play with this. So sometimes you tighten your belly a little bit as you take a step. And then sometimes you actually push your belly a little bit forward as you take a step. Let go of the belly. And notice what's more familiar and what's more nicer. And this is the end of the lesson. Thanks for joining this one.